support area at 120, and maybe the market won't pull back to the piercing pattern. Okay, maybe the 120 area would be a better buy. So we have a support area. Remember, the candlestick screener. Is the market at support or resistance? Is that support? On the blue double lines there, right. But the second aspect with the screener, are there any signs, the prior trend, in this case down, are there any signs the market's losing steam? No, so I would not be buying here. How about here? Yes. So this is what I mean by adapting to the new market circumstances. Initially, our support area was the piercing pattern, but because the market told us, for whatever reason, instead of 119 being support, the dollar, this is dollar Swissy, the dollar had support around 120. That becomes a potential support area. Okay. And perfectly fine target. This would have been a great risk reward. But if you're waiting for a pullback to lower the piercing pattern, it wouldn't have happened. And you had plenty of clues to see that. Same thing here. Okay, negative divergence here. Okay, the market made the same highs. And if we sold here, what would our potential target be? Maybe, okay, by the way, this is what I would have is S1 minor support, only because it's the lows on a couple of sessions. Our more important support area would be S2 with an asterisk. Okay, because look at all the resistance there. All right. Now, the market is pulling back, so initially, if we sell there, the first support is S1. We're not viewing it as major support. But look what happens now. This is S1. Do we increase the importance of that support area now? Yes. Right. Because the market is telling us, especially through a hammer, that that is becoming an important support area. And look how well it held there. So we're always adapting. We're always changing. Same thing here. Let's say we short here. Where's our target? Yeah, 190. I mean, you could be looking at the piercing pattern, but even that low there, the low of the long lower shadow, maybe around 120.25. That would be minor support to me, but certainly the piercing pattern. So let's say the piercing pattern is your target because it's an important support area, potentially important support. So you short there, really good risk reward. Okay, the market, and that's a stop out level. Remember, we always have to define our stop and the target. And this is a minimum target, but we may be looking at the piercing pattern as more important. Now, let's say this is our target. Anything happening here? This happens to be a daily chart. It doesn't matter. Anything happening here to change our outlook about the target being reached? Session after session after session, we have support around 120.75. Move stops. Take profits. Right? You see something like this. The market is always changing. Okay? And this is what happened after. So this is what I mean by pace ourselves according to the market environment. So what we've done today, look at a couple more charts, is look at ways of getting early reversals. And it's more than that. We've also seen ways to achieve peak trading performance. How? By viewing the information in the candlestick lines. And one of the very important aspects is not only getting those early reversal signals, but avoiding the bad trades. Okay? Warren Buffett had a couple of quotes. He said, 2 rules. Rule 1, don't lose money. Rule 2, don't forget Rule 1. You know, one of the best ways to make money, don't lose money. And by correctly using the candles, you'll know which trades to avoid. Not only which trades to get in, but which trades to avoid. Very, very important. One trader who said to another trader who was on a losing streak, he said, you know there's money in the market? And the other trader said, yeah, it's mine. Don't let it be yours. But the real asset of the candles is you're going to be able to pinpoint the forex turning signals with razor-sharp accuracy. Western technicals are great. for that confirmation, but you're going to find most of the time the candles are going to give you early reversals much earlier than the Western signals. You're going to get a jump on the competition. So for example, here, for those who use the, I think this is the MACD. Let's see what this is. Yeah, this is the MACD. Negative crossover, and the blue and the red and the green circles show where the crossovers are. So we had a bearish crossover in the red ellipse and a bullish crossover in the green, but very typical. Evening star here, a morning star here. This is what's going to happen very, very often. You're going to get the early turns with the candlestick signals. If you want a little extra confirmation, you want to wait some extra days or sessions, you could use the oscillator. But very often, you're going to get the early clues with the candles. This is what they really shine out. This is why the institutional traders use them all the time. This is why people who know about the candles and use them correctly, people who don't use them correctly just get totally screwed up with the candles. Okay, here we have an inverted head and shoulders. When is an inverted head and shoulders confirmed? The neckline. So we got the confirmation by the close under the neckline. Anybody see anything under the lows of the head? Any candlestick reversal signals? A hammer and a bullish engulfing pattern. And look at the potential turning signals. Look how much earlier we got it. And yet, you could use the inverted head and shoulders to get a potential price target. But the candles are what it's all about, those early reversal signals. Who here would ever trade with a bar chart again, right? I mean, nobody here has traded with a bar chart again, but as I mentioned before, if you're trading with a bar chart, you're really trading at a financial disadvantage. And once again, I have to remind you, the candlesticks are a tool. They're not a system. They have to be part of what I call my trading triad success model. The triad is comprised of 3 components, and we focused on 2 of them today. Really, candlestick charting techniques, Western charting techniques, and the third leg is money management. We touched a little bit more on we touched on money management. That's more in my advanced material, but the idea of the trading triad is that it's a really unique synergistic approach to trading that's custom designed to let you enter and exit the market with better timing and at the same time letting you decrease risk. We really need all 3 of these. And I like to compare the triad, the trading triad, the 3-legged approach to trading to like the construction of the samurai sword. The blacksmith who made the samurai sword would take iron, place it into a furnace until it was white hot, almost translucent, and he would take it out, and then while the iron was still malleable, he would put it on the anvil, and with a heavy hammer would pound it into the desired shape. And once the desired shape was reached, he would take the iron, plunge it into a bucket of water, and that extreme change in temperature would give the iron, which would ultimately wind up as a sword, its durability and strength. And the 3 tools of heat, hammer, and water together made a weapon that could not be made any other way. And so it is with the trading triad. The candlestick charts, the early reversal signals. As one person who attended my seminar phrased it, he came up to the seminar after me, actually a few days after when he started to really trade with this. I said, this is great. I can get into the market before the market does its thing. I said, that's a great way of putting it. That's what candles are all about. Candlestick charts. Western technicals, like the anvil. We need all 3 for those confirmations. We get a candlestick signal confirming a Western signal. Also, we need Western technicals for a price target. And then money management. Okay? The samurai would say, weigh the situation and then move. How do we weigh the situation? By looking at money management, risk reward, adapting to the market, some of the things we talked about today, candles and context. And these 3 weapons, the candlesticks and the Western technicals and money managements forged together will be like your weapon in your battle of trading, because trading is almost like going into battle. Will be your weapon in your battle, both offensive and defensive weapon in your battle for Forex trading. So I want to thank you. You're in a great group. And I know it's been a long day, but we'll stay around for any questions. And what we'll do, thank you very much.